So when going through the videos for this week, having to do with the movies, I wanted to bring up this slide again from the presentation because I don't feel like I truly got to explain it enough. And the question is, what influences you and what doesn't influence you and why? So how has media impacted our culture? So I read this really great book on, I think it says down there, decision making oriented media management. So basically how we learn from the media. What I took from the book, I tried to turn it into a visual aid, and you can see where your values are at the center of what drives culture, but it's also what reflects culture and creates, the values. So the culture creates the values. So it's very much embedded, and it's the relationship between the two. So if reality is constructed socially through our shared experiences, then video is the realistic art form that transmits our knowledge and meaning through storytelling. It acts as a medium to define and reinforce cultural values and express our experiences. Stories rich in morals, symbols, ritual, and beliefs have been used as a teaching tool since the dawn of existence to ensure survival by influencing behavior. Storytelling uses concrete examples to relay wisdom. When media companies use storytelling, the goal is to create content and markets. It is organized by either economic or social values. So think about the differences between these two value systems. It's going to be very different what an advertiser is valuing in between what I'm valuing socially. Values are cultural and are organized by social norms. So these standards are defined by a community and interpreted differently. So you see the values as both the inputs and the outputs in constructing reality. I found this to be very similar of a concept to constructivist learning theory because our perceptions and social interactions are shaping reality. And this is saying reality is what the media tells us about it. So it's a similar concept. I also watched a video that was an Ontario Tech video called Lenses of Transformational Learning, and I suggest you look that up because that's where I got most of my information from this. It talks about transformational learning theory, which is a form of constructivism, and I found that this really relates to movies and storytelling that the media does because it speaks about the importance of dreams and symbols for socially constructed personalities. So Tisdale, he focuses on learning, which is both spiritual and sociocultural, as learners in different contexts construct their own knowledge, which comes from storytelling. Boyd, on the other hand, focuses on the individual locus of learning from a psychoanalytical approach. He also theorized about the importance of symbols and the unconscious in transformative learning. So if you think about the characteristics attached to symbols in the media, both culturally and spiritually, you will find a lot, right? And this brought me to thinking about the hero's journey, which is very common in myths, and it's a common popular theme that's used in storytelling. It's been widely studied by psychoanalysts and anthropologists. So this goes back like millennia, this type of myth, the hero. And we still see it today in these big blockbuster films like Marvel, any kind of Marvel, right? So in each adventurous stage in the journey, it can reflect components of this transformative learning process where the hero is actually self-actualizing a fundamental change in their frames of reference. So your frames of reference have to do with your habits of mind, your frames of reference is what you see, your habits of mind is what you think, and your points of view is what you believe. So the hero does this after critical reflection on these experiences. So that's where I was headed with this transformative learning process and thinking about how films can really influence us and change our our habits and how we see things and how we think about things after seeing a film. And if you're interested in that, I suggest looking further into Joseph Campbell, and he really gets into this hero's journey and myths. It's also a really good tool if you enjoy storytelling. It helps you guide you through that outline. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that helps explain things and connects it all.